I've been talking about the benefits of creating your podcast using Anchor for quite a while, but today there are so many more benefits that I can't imagine using a different hosting platform. And that's because Anchor, the world's largest podcast hosting platform, has now combined with Spotify for podcasters to create an all-new, first-of-its-kind platform with everything you need to create and grow a podcast. This means that you are now able to combine Anchor's all-in-one free hosting and distribution with all the best features Spotify has to offer, so you can make, manage, and level up your show. This includes the ability to upload or record your content, publish video podcasts to Spotify, add interactive features like Q&A and polls, choose from a number of monetization tools, and keep track of your show's growth with advanced analytics. And of course, you can still publish your episodes and distribute them to all platforms where your podcast is available. What makes all of this so amazing is that even if you already have a podcast hosted elsewhere, you can still take advantage of Spotify's free growth tools for podcasters, like analytics and fan engagement. You can do this by claiming your show on Spotify for Podcasters. Spotify for Podcasters is truly the easiest way to make any podcast, manage your show, and get the most out of Spotify. All you have to do is focus on your content, and they'll take care of the rest. For more information, go to podcasters.spotify.com. Hi, I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
And this is Pink Kink, the podcast where we talk about the pretty,
twisted side of kink.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, Fabe, Embers, Blossom, William P., Claire, Lady Blooding, Primal Empress, Roxy, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Northern Sir, Manda Panda, Kat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Serenity Deb, Robert, Ruby R., Christopher, Kilted Sir, Fire Good and his good boy Grant, Brian, May Cry Devil, Ruby Riot, Mistress Velma, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, Lioness X, The Midnight Girl, Sinful,
Mrs. and Mr. Hart, J21, Daisy If You Do, Princess Katharina and Katharina's Thrall, Harley Chick, Violet Rain, Serenity Ah, Belle, Puppy Mike, Jedi Kitten, Eric, Cat Daddy, Sweetie Todd, Radically Blessed, Lady Affliction, Dr. Dave, Pumpkin Pie, Ms. Tourmaline, S'more, Hacksaw, Kinky Katie, Wee Mad Beastie, To Be Better For Me, Forrest, BP Bryn, Ray S., Crash Override, Becca, Sir Sin, Little Bean, Kinky Bear,
I'm Baby Bitches,
Barbie, Frost, Sinful and Naughty.
Pink Kink runs off the generosity of our devoted patrons.
As a patron, you will become a member of our special Discord server, receive some adorable Pink Kink stickers, as well as have access to a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast. Patrons also get discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
In addition, our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get special audio and video episodes. And finally, patrons at our highest tier will be recognized as producers, both here on the podcast and on our website.
If you would like to become a patron, you can visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click the link at pinkkinkpodcast.com.
It's still my turn. Still my turn.
I guess I'll give you another one as my gift to you.
That's what he said.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Sometimes the brain clicks in. Not often, but occasionally.
Yeah, well, your brain kicked in and then your voice crapped out, so.
I couldn't help it.
Perfect timing.
Well, that's actually a really good, funny segue into today's episode.
Purpose. Yes,
on
I
purpose.
did.
You don't even know what I'm going to do.
Nope.
Okay. So first, let me tell you what the episode is about, and then I will explain this funny segue having to do with my voice. Follow me. There is logic to this madness. I promise you.
Usually it pans out, but I'm very in the dark right now, so I'm just gonna.
So for my birthday episode, of which this is part 2, we decided to interview the people that I talk about a lot and give them an opportunity to talk about how their feelings about how they're portrayed on the podcast, defend themselves if they feel they need to defend themselves against accusations or
The heinous
anything
accusations.
else. The heinous accusations that I made. Though this particular group, I really haven't made any heinous accusations. That was last episode. So if you listen out of order, this is going to really fuck you up.
Maybe you shouldn't listen out of order.
See, there you go. And so the first person that we interviewed was actually, surprisingly or not surprisingly, the most requested interview when we asked our patrons who we should talk to. Who do we talk about on the episode, on the podcast that you most wanted to hear? And this one was the one mentioned constantly. Now, are you ready for the segue?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So last weekend in recording time, not in podcast release time.
What? Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Okay. We're on recording time, not release time.
Yes.
Last weekend was our birthday party at the Crucible, our local dungeon.
Yes.
Our 50 Shades of Pink takeover. And so we had people who had come to the dungeon that had either never been before or hadn't been in a very long time that are friends of ours. And I was constantly pointing this special guest out, going,
So
look
was I.
at over that. Do you see that guy over there? Do you know who that is?
I was doing that too. And he was eating it up.
Oh my God, was he ever eating it up? And people were so funny because when I would say that's so-and-so, they'd look at him and they go, now I understand why you call him that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that's all we're saying.
Uh-huh. And he wasn't even showing his face.
No, but he does have a very nice chest.
And abs. And
the
arms.
abs too. Yeah.
And if he did, so he was doing a little
I didn't check
striptease.
out his butt. Does he have a nice butt too?
He's got a very nice butt. Man works out. What can I say? Like he's a gym body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really funny to be able to point him out and watch people's reaction of like, oh my God, yes, he is.
Yes. Yes. He's also like, here's the thing though. He's also one of the most genuinely sweet men I've ever met in my life.
I like him. He is so sweet and so kind. And I so appreciated that despite his similar dislike for needles.
Oh, similar to me?
Yes. When I told him that I was doing a special needle scene for my birthday scene, he did come over and be a part of it. So
he was entertaining the crowd for most of it. Anyway, you already heard all of that in the last episode, so we're gonna.
Well, yeah. So I'm guessing you guys can probably figure out from all of these clues who we're talking about. But just in case, we would like to introduce you to
Hot Asian Guy.
So this special guest that we have on is somebody with a very, shall we say, interesting nickname that we're going to have to ask and find out where this nickname started from. But we'd like to welcome Hot Asian Guy to the podcast.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, well, that was not what I was expecting.
I'm Hot Asian Guy.
Oh my God. Oh, we're going to get in so much trouble.
I said a lot of good fortune cookies and a lot of hotness. But in all realness, this is how I actually sound for all you listeners.
Yeah, much better because I'm like, Rara's like, oh God, we're going to get in so much trouble. It was like,
So
no,
much
he's
trouble.
actually Asian, so he
really is
get away
Asian.
with that. We can't.
So I guess the first question we really should ask is, where the hell did Hot Asian Guy, the nickname, come from? How did it start?
Well,
Anybody know?
From what I could briefly surmise is just how I came up to Dara about all those years ago.
All those years ago? How many years was it?
Oh, God.
Like,
yeah, but that to me feels like a long time ago.
It's got to be
regardless.
Remember how young he is? That's a large portion of his life.
That's true.
Don't worry, I'll hit that so-called old age threshold soon enough. I already got gray hairs. It's all that stress.
Wait a minute. How old are you?
28.
Yeah, you still a baby.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm gonna hit the threshold. Calm your brakes. Slow down.
Rah.
Don't rush me.
No, I'm just dying.
Are you thinking
I'm just
what
dying
I'm thinking?
because he's the same age as my eldest.
I'm thinking he might be the same age as Baby Fireman.
Very possible. Okay, so here's an important question. Do you know who Mrs. Robinson is?
No.
Fuck. Well, there ends our time tonight. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Bye.
Okay, no, wait. You got to finish the story about hot Asian guy and why we started calling you that.
Oh, it's just so it started when I first met Dara on Saturday Night Kink live in person, and I was fascinated because I was doing electro as my first kink focus, and what Dara was just showing, I was deeply interested, and I was starting to come back to the scene, and I just wanted to learn a little bit more before delving into it on my own. And at the same time, Dara was working with one of her submissive partners, and they were, I believe, if I remember correctly, wanted me to participate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was actually Persephone.
Yeah.
She started it.
She's the one who started it. That is correct. Okay. Persephone wanted me to help participate in the scene for electro, and I was a little bit shy about it, but I was like, fuck it, let's do this.
Do it.
So under Dara's great tutelage, guided me about certain sweet spots for Persephone on the electro. And after the scene, bid our farewells after brief introductions, and then it slowly over time, on another Saturday Night Kink, I ran into Dara, and she informs me about Persephone talking about me. It's who was that hot Asian guy?
That was pretty much it. We had no idea what your name was. She just referred to you as, she was like, oh my God, is that hot Asian guy from last time? And I was like, that is that hot Asian guy. And then that's it.
What's so funny is I didn't know the name to the face. I was like, who is this Persephone? I was looking out for her for so long on Saturdays, just to do a proper introductions, and many months go by before I actually officially meet her in person.
Yeah, she doesn't come that often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the hot Asian girl.
Pretty much.
Well, she didn't get the upgraded version of the nickname.
Oh, God.
We're going to have to get into that part.
Oh, no. Rara hates this one, by the way.
I do? I'm trying to remember which one this is.
This is the one that we kind of updated at Winterfire this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that is correct.
And I had nothing to do with this. This was all you.
Me or him?
No, this was all you, hot Asian guy. You're the one that shortened it.
Well, is that because we also had hot Asian Winterfire guy?
Possibly. That's the guy you only see once a year at Winterfire.
Yep, that we have this immense flirtation going with. He is cute as a button. It never goes beyond the flirtation, and I see him just the once a year. And he is hot Asian Winterfire guy.
Yeah, I see my flirtation hot Asian guy at least once a month or so.
And the funny thing is, this hot Asian Winterfire guy is probably no closer to being in my proper age range either. But a girl can hope.
Hey, you need some eye candy.
Yeah.
I do.
Nothing wrong with that. Everyone needs love.
Okay,
now,
tell them what you shortened it to.
I was introduced to you as hot Asian guy. Dara's like, this here, this is hot Asian guy.
And you did like that little hand motion, like just like as if like showcasing an item. Like,
yeah, pretty much. I was like, look what we have here for your perusal today.
What, you don't like to be objectified?
Hey, I never said that. I get plenty of comments, whether it's about my clothes, my style, what I do.
That's because your clothes are phenomenal.
Oh, and I actually got asked on Saturday, how many push-ups can you do? Because they were like looking at my body.
Okay, wait a minute. What's the answer?
About in a single round, less than 2 minutes, 40 to 50 on average.
Right,
I can do like one.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a reason we call them hot Asian guys, because those muscles.
Yeah, we're not being sarcastic. We're being honest.
I like to stay in shape. Before my now job, like I would constantly go to the gym at least like 5 days a week and go for like an hour and a half to like 2.5, maybe 3 if it's that bad.
All right, so we got distracted. Let's go to the new nickname that he got at Winter Fire.
So, just to up it up a little bit, I was being introduced to some of your friends, and I was like being introduced as the typical hot Asian guy. But then I was like,
that's what we do.
Oh yeah, you can call me Hag. HAG, everyone. Hot Asian guy is also the Hag.
We had so much fun with that.
Every time I was like introducing myself like that, they were like stunned. They didn't know how to react at first, like, and then just chose to accept it, like as if it was just perfectly normal. Like he wants to be called Hag. Okay, I'll respect what he wants to be called.
It's far be it from us within this community to tell somebody they can't use whatever name that they want to use.
That's one storm of bullshit I don't want to get into. It's just too much drama.
All right. So how did you first discover that we called you Hot Asian Guy here on the podcast?
Well, it was just briefly mentioned that, I was talked about on the podcast by, somebody.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't have a camera, but I'm also looking to the middle right now. Look at, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Dar, he decided to join us without a camera. So here we have Hot Asian Guy without anything to look at.
And seriously, I can't even look at his deliciousness right now. I'm a little sad about that.
Yeah, no shirt too, sorry.
Oh, man.
The nipples are out.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm going to have to go take a cold shower. My imagination is working.
Yeah, I mean, if you've like seen me at when I go through my scenes, especially when it comes to Impact, especially this last Saturday, I was burning up really hard and sweating like a freaking had baby oil all over me, glistening in the light.
Well, you've seen when I focus on a scene, nothing else is in my field of vision.
I understand that. Yeah, I remember. Like that's like the thing. Like some like novices don't seem to understand. It's like when you're in a scene, you got to be focused. You can't just be easily distracted.
No, but you got to focus on your bottom as well as what's happening around you, because when we're at Crucible, it's usually jam packed.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I know that technically, as the people involved in the scene, we have the right of way, I still don't want to hit somebody who's not part of my scene.
Yeah, I have these like large katana floggers that I got from the Leather Flea, and I was like utilizing them, and I've hit a couple people who weren't being aware of my space needed, because what I was doing was requiring a little birth to implement my tools of heresy.
So speaking of scenes, we've been lucky enough to have you participate with Dara in co-topping me during, I love that laugh, during the
exactly what we're getting
Impact
into.
Scenes.
Yes.
And do you want to share the story of one of our favorite things to do during those scenes?
I can't remember if it was like where we're just constantly like alternating. I go, Gar goes.
You and I have had competitions over Rara's ass.
Yes.
But I do believe she is talking about Clear.
Ah, yes, defibrillator. The one time I get to be doctor. Bring her back.
Your mother will be very proud.
She already, signed away everything after I made some certain life decisions.
Trust me, as a Jewish person, I understand.
Well, it doesn't work well with...
I didn't marry a doctor, so
first generation Korean Presbyterian. Yeah, it's and a mother.
Oof. But I remember the first time you did that, you went clear, whack. That was the funniest thing. I love that.
Yeah, we lost it. We lost our shit. And then we did it a second time because Robert was like, oh my God, do it again. I have an idea.
Yep. And then you did it again. And then I pretended to come back to life by shaking my booty.
She was like humping the table.
Yes, I was pretty much.
I mean,
listen, I don't know how to twerk. I'm a white girl with a flat ass. I do not know how to twerk. I'm sorry.
I got a tone butt and I don't know how to twerk.
Oh, and well, you guys should have a twerking contest for our birthday, and I will be the judge.
I'm pretty sure we would just end up rubbing against each other like two Flintstones.
Wait. Then I can be in the middle, and it'll all be okay.
And then Dara tries to cause problems during the scene.
Why?
Because I'm talking to some of our friends who are watching the scene, and I hear Dara whisper in his ear, "You must not be hitting her hard enough because she's still able to talk to people."
That old...
Is that why you called me a pot stirrer or whatever you called me on TikTok?
One of many reasons, but yes.
I am insulted.
It's like that story, Adam and Eve and the snake.
Yeah.
We're being innocent, and then Dara over here just like stirring the pot.
Oh, I'm the snake?
But you're a sexy snake.
I like it.
Hey. Snakes can be sexy.
I used to have 2 pet snakes.
I just can't deal with them in person.
Mine were cuddle bugs. They were so cuddly.
That doesn't make sense.
They love to cuddle.
Animals have feelings too, just like how that table had feelings when you were, rubbing against it.
Oh, Robert has a thing for molesting tables.
I'm very tactile. Physical touch is a love language for me.
She has to touch everything.
Yeah.
So how many episodes have you actually listened to, Hot Asian Guy?
I've actually been managed to get to, 30 something before I got distracted with too much of life needs. But typically, especially on the long drives, I would try to tune in, and because it was perfect to listen to and keep me aware, especially on long drives. I actually started from 1 because it's it made no sense to just skip. There was only one time I skipped, which was for the Winter Fire one.
Because you were there.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
I was I knew
he's even hotter now.
Should we call him Super Hot Asian Guy Shag?
Level 3 obtained. We're just gonna keep adding letters or change letters around.
Didn't we try haggis at one point?
Oh God,
that is true. Yes, we did do that.
Why?
But I don't know if we actually got the acronym to work.
No.
Rah. It was 2:00 in the morning. We were sitting on the floor of the freaking dungeon.
I call bullshit on that because there's no way in hell you were up at 2 a.m.
Ask him. Ask him.
No way were you up at 2 a.m.
You and Daddy J, boom. You and Daddy J went to bed before I did.
She was there. You were only supposed to make sure that she woke up in the morning.
No, that was Sunday.
I did my job. Yes. I did my job Sunday morning, and I totally mamaed the hell out of not only Dara but Daddy J.
Oh, you had to remind me to get my shoes that morning.
On. You try to leave without your shoes on.
Mommy mode activated.
She really did.
I also told Daddy J what to do to minimize the amount of time he needed to get ready so he would be ready when Dara was ready. I had it under control.
She really did. But we're talking about, so Friday night, and I said I was just going to finish my conversation, and then 2 hours.
That makes sense. That I can believe.
Hey, Shag makes a really, really good armrest.
I bet. Though I'm surprised. I would have thought you would complain that his muscles are too hard to be comfortable laying on.
No, Diesel's muscles are too hard to be laying on. Hot Asian guys are nice.
No.
Wait, Shag. Wait. Are you any kind of nerd?
Nerd to what level?
Don't know, but you've been making like level up jokes. So if we add an end in there for nerd, you can be Shang.
Super hot Asian nerdy guy?
Super hot Asian nerdy guy.
Well, let's see.
Are you into D&D?
Funny you should say that. Well, I'll get to that at the end, but I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of anime, like an Asian. What is it? Read a lot of comics and stuff.
Okay, I think you can be Shang now.
And I am playing this game that's like basically D&D. So yes, I guess
you've been moved to Shang.
Oh, well,
if we start referring to him as Shang, though, nobody's going to know who the hell we're talking about.
No, but it certainly beats Hag.
No one actually ever called him Hag.
Well, thank God. How do you take hot Asian guy and then make him Hag? Like it doesn't.
I didn't.
Match.
He did it.
Wait. We could do. Could we do Shank?
Hot.
What would the?
Wait, super hot
Asian kinky guy.
The G silent. The G would be silent.
It would just be Kingster. Super hot Asian nerdy Kingster. Shank.
Yeah.
Nope, you're just gonna be hot Asian guy for
that's how it is. Because as much as we're saying all this, by tomorrow, Dar and I will both totally forget. Yep. And you'll just be hot Asian guy.
That's it.
Yeah.
And all the listeners only know you as hot Asian guy. Do you know you were one of the most requested people to get on this episode?
What?
Yeah, we asked people. So this episode is for my birthday. And we're bringing on all the people that we talk about regularly on the podcast. So we asked our patrons, who would you like to hear from? And you were one of the most requested people.
Well, I feel very honored by that. I didn't expect that. I would have probably heard about that more if I was listening in consistently.
Well, it was more in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we might talk about you a lot in there, too. After pretty much every risque, your name comes up.
Was he there?
Was Hot Asian Guy there? What did you guys do? Did you scene with Hot Asian Guy?
I know.
Pink scarf wrapped around my neck. That's it.
Oh, just a scarf? Nothing else?
And underwear.
Oh.
He's got to get into the building.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, she's asking me to get arrested.
Right?
No.
She's asking to molest you, actually, is what's happening.
No, she just wants the opportunity that I'll be in handcuffs so that way I could just get kidnapped.
I have handcuffs. If we need handcuffs, I got some. What are you talking about?
I have no problem with this scenario whatsoever. This is great. You guys have already planned it out for me?
Well,
no
it's
problem.
Consented.
Wait. Who's kidnapping who?
Am I not being kidnapped? And you two are the kidnappers?
I'm okay with this scene.
Yeah. Dar will kidnap you. I cannot, because not only will I get arrested for kidnapping, but possibly child endangerment. So I really can't.
Well, I got plenty of places to hide the key, so don't worry about that.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to have to warn Daddy J that we're doing a kidnapping scene, and please do not worry that I'm dragging a obscenely good-looking Asian guy off into a corner while he is handcuffed. Okay, it's fine.
Listen,
fine.
I have a dungeon at my house. Just bring him here.
No, I have a basement.
And then you can keep him for a while.
Oh, yes. You have pipes down there that I can attach him to.
I have that at the St. Andrew's Cross. There's places.
Everybody better be super jealous of me right now.
So, in all seriousness, do you mind that we share these stories and that we call you hot Asian guy and that Dara's basically drooling as she even thinks about you?
Go right the hell away. Yeah.
I think we already established that he enjoys being objectified.
I'm just making sure that everybody is listening. We have consent.
Yes, you have been given consent. Just objectify me.
Oh my God, is he the Asian Ken from the movie?
Maybe.
Oh.
God damn, I should have tried.
That actually would work because wasn't that actor also in Shanghai, the movie?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Shang and Shang.
I'm the one that never got into the spotlight.
Aww.
I'm behind the scenes.
You're the stunt double.
Yeah. I mean I used to do martial arts, not trying to, prey upon the Asian tag, but
Gonna say, can you get any more stereotypical?
Probably.
Did a little bit of kendo, but that's it.
Oh man. All right. So you actually circling back, you said that you've only gotten up to like episode 30,
give or take, yeah.
And the Winterfire one. So I guess the Winterfire one is the only one that you heard that you're actually mentioned in.
Yeah. I knew there was one more somewhere in the middle because I did ask Rara about it. It's like, where was I talked about? I've been trying to look for it, but I just...
Well, in the Winterfire one, we had to talk about you a lot because you were like there.
You starred in the Winterfire stories.
Yeah. Well, you did hang out with us a lot, so that kind of makes sense.
And we've also talked about him because I've shared the stories of our scenes when you guys have co-topped me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Including the clear and the light up drumsticks.
Yes. Someone was like, why aren't you wearing your light up jacket? I was like, what? It's way too fucking hot. Like, come on. That thing is going to like fry me from the inside.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
Yeah, but that's more like a cold weather situation.
And let me tell you, topping for impact, I don't even want to think how many calories you end up burning for that. That's a workout.
It's a hit or miss because sometimes it's like it's more at the pickup play. It's like not pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it comes and goes. Like some people already have like stuff they're doing with others.
Yeah, I guess. Well, for me, because like this Saturday I'm demo topping, so I'll be doing multiple scenes. So yeah, I'll be nice and tired by the time we're done.
Yeah,
you're recording with me and then going to do demo topping?
Yep.
Ooh, you're gonna die.
Yep. But I'm gonna die happy.
Hey, that's what matters, right?
I'll just get some chicken nuggies. It'll be fine.
Well,
yeah,
wait. Where's the salami?
You know what? I've moved on from the salami to the chicken nuggies.
Oh, wait, what level of chicken nuggies? Are we talking like McDonald's or?
Yes, because there's that McDonald's just down the street.
Yeah,
that is open when the dungeon closes at 2 a.m, and so we tend to go through the drive-through.
So base level
chicken nuggets. Yeah, they're very good with honey mustard.
Well, you haven't heard the episode then where we talk about what we're going to be doing at Rara's funeral.
Yeah,
we have to serve chicken nuggies.
Mm-hmm.
And squawk chickens.
Yep. Have you seen my rubber chicken?
No, I did not see the rubber chicken. And actually, the way you described that, I'm thinking of like, those like the flower girls or the flower boys that come down the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like at the funeral, that's what's going to happen. You're just going to be throwing chicken nuggies at everyone.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Just serve it. You throw it.
That's what I want.
Oh no!
That's
wait,
what I want.
Who's the chicken nuggie girl? Is that supposed to be me, or because like?
Do you want to be the chicken nuggie girl?
I don't know. I figured I was hosting it.
We'll figure it out.
You might as well have the crown of chicken nuggies.
I plan on just not dying for a little bit, so I've got time to work it all out.
Oh, you're right. I'm dying well before you, so I will not be hosting your funeral.
No, I'm going to triple digits, bitch.
But I will squawk a chicken on the way out for you.
Thank you.
Everyone will probably be happy at mine.
Okay.
Korean
Why?
barbecue.
Oh yes. No, I'll be coming to yours just for that.
A lot of free soju. as
Yeah,
the
I
tradition.
will be long gone by then.
Free alcohol, free
I'm coming
Asian
back as a
food.
ghost for that.
I mean, there was like those cultures that have like servings of food to like the dead type of deal. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we can fit
I'm
you a plate.
Jewish, so we'll feed you. We'll feed you to celebrate. We'll feed you because we're mourning. We'll feed you because you're angry. We'll feed you because you're happy.
You ever walk into an Italian's house? Hi, you hungry? I'll make you a sandwich.
Oh, God forbid you say no.
Oh, no, that's the worst thing you can do.
Oh, you hurt their feelings. All right. Any funny stories that you want to share with us? Memories of the two of us, your impressions of the two of us?
Well, I mean, so far, gone through a lot of the stuff. I would say, like, going from the beginning, it was a great experience, like, to start off with getting back into the scene and running into Dara at the right time, at the right place. She was very friendly and introduced me to a lot of, like, key informations to keep in mind for Electro. Because, like, even at that time, I had some of the tools, but not, like, to the variety that she has. What she would have is like thousands of dollars in one case, whereas mine was like just 100 or so.
I've been collecting for almost 9 years. So
yeah,
look,
but
I am the last person on the world who will ever give anybody grief about the amount of toys that they have.
I mean,
right?
My impact stuff is cost more than my Electro at this point. Maybe
That seems to be typical.
Did get that new like the mechanical wand. Still trying to work around that.
Oh, I can show you.
Yeah. Because like there's that whole like if you hold it upside down it like turns off.
No, I got you. I'll show you next time. So what's your best rah-rah
story?
I know there's too many to choose from.
The two that vividly is like one that we already touched upon, trying to revive Rara and her ass off the table. The other is, oh my gosh, Rara. She mentioned how she likes to do the piercing play, and then that was my first time ever seeing it for her, and I was like I respect everyone's kinks. Like, there's no kink shaming, but it's just like if for me to do it is like a different story. And I was like that idea alone, and just
was that the concentric circles, that huge. Yeah, that was 145 needles. Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, I just couldn't bear like that thought, like, because it kind of projected into my mind, like if I was to try to attempt it, and like the feeling of what it would be like, it just kind of overwhelmed me. I was like, yeah, no.
Wait till you see what she's gonna do for her birthday.
Oh God!
Don't tell her.
I'm just turning. Okay.
My eyes are already small as it is to try to shut it all out. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I already got a shitty prescription.
Oh.
Shitty prescription. Plus
it's all
small
good,
eyes.
happy stuff.
I got needle thin eyes.
Oh my God.
You said needles.
Well, is this where I call purple?
Yeah, you can call purple on needle talk.
Okay.
Dara doesn't like when I talk needles.
Yeah, she hates it.
Even though I just ordered some more for my birthday scene. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. Again, this is going to come out after.
I hear Retribution coming one day.
Here's the problem. Dara would like to do Retribution. She hasn't really found anything that will work.
Oh, yes, I did.
What?
Moving your toys.
Yeah, you messed up my toys.
That's all I have to do.
Yeah.
Or
if she messes up my toys again, I'm getting a spider.
I don't know the story with that one.
I did that in retaliation, so you can't get a spider.
No, we could. Right. If I said if you do it again.
Okay.
That's all I said.
I'm not instigating this shit.
No. Well,
I am not a chaos goblin.
Hot Asian guy, hot Asian nerdy guy, super hot Asian nerdy
guy,
super hot Asian nerdy kinky guy, Silent G.
The list just goes on and on.
But not hag. We've retired hag.
We can't do hag.
Why not? What?
See, I told you. He's the one that did it.
Do you look in the mirror? You are not a hag, honey.
Well, that's not the purpose of it. It's just more like just to get that reaction. Like, are they gonna like just pause and then like grab my hand or something and then say hi? Or it's like that's a reaction. Like, how would you feel if someone walked up to you and introduced themselves as hag, shank?
I would
Shang.
I would be like, okay, Mulan reference. Cool.
Oh God, you would go straight to Mulan, yeah.
Yes, if he starts calling himself Shang, he better fucking walk into that building and go, let's get down to business.
To defeat
Yes!
The Huns.
There are two types of people in this world. Those who know the answer to let's get down to business and those who do not.
We don't associate with people who do not.
Well,
Those people are wrong.
That's more than
They're
half the
just
people that show up.
I will not kink shame, but I will defeat the Hun shame.
Yes. You have to be able to respond.
Well, again, thank you so much for taking time and talking to us. And you will be mentioned again and again and again. So hopefully we do you right.
Well, I'll try to make sure to bring back the time so I can like continue listening in, because I did really enjoy listening in to everything after like you telling me about the podcast, and very informative on like a lot of the topics. You know, gives me new knowledge every day to think about, like when it comes to like the scene and stuff. So you both doing these podcasts is like very informative, and it also gives like that sense of humor to help brighten the day kind of deal. So
I was gonna say we're fucking funny.
I love a good kiss up.
Is it kiss up?
It could be both factual and kiss up.
You're not using the correct terminology.
Oh,
I've noticed this twice today. It's not kiss up, it's kiss ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speak English.
Oh God.
The Asian telling you to speak English.
Okay.
We're so lucky you're actually Asian.
Yeah, any hate mail for this, please don't send to us. Send to him directly.
Directly to hot Asian guy.
Yeah. You
Or
send
hag,
to me,
if that's what he wants to be called.
You send it to me, I send you nice picture of portrait of me.
And I'm going to just stop it right there. I think that's pretty good right there.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I had no idea that he was going to do that with the accent.
Yeah, that, I swear to God, guys, we did not put him up to that. And I swear to God, he is actually Asian.
Yes, please. We hope nobody was offended. This was just, I guess it's a thing he does. In the same way, I, as a Jew, can make jokes about Jews. When you're Asian, you can make jokes about Asians.
We were just sitting there going, what do we do? But yeah.
I didn't know he was that funny, though.
I did.
Because it's, well, I've never really talked to him at like that depth.
Okay.
Because I see him at the Crucible, and to talk you have to be really loud because the music's really loud, and you try to save your voice. And
yeah, I guess because I got the chance to talk to him more at Winter Fire, so I guess that was
I didn't really have that opportunity, but he is such a sweetheart, such a love. So I'm really, really glad that we got a chance to talk with him.
All righty. Who's next?
Now, our next guest was somebody that I did this behind Dara's back. I admit it freely.
Mm-hmm.
I just told her it was a special guest and I was surprising her. Like she surprised me in her birthday episode.
We have to keep each other on our toes somehow.
But this amazing, wonderful woman, it is almost like an odd fluke that she and I are friends. But a really good odd fluke. She's another one that I met through TikTok. And then we met in person in real life. And I adopted her and brought her into my family, my kink family. And
now we don't let her go.
No. And I've been very fortunate enough to adopt a couple more. And I warned them all. I said, you understand, once I adopt you, you're mine. I don't let go.
Yes.
Ever.
Was I adopted, or did I just kind of like wrap my legs around you and just kind of go, whoa?
I think you were holding on to my hair, so you had to go with me.
Anyway, back to special guest.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And my special guest not being my hair. Okay.
No. That'd be weird.
I would like to take time and introduce and talk with the lovely Vixen.
So we talk a lot about how I like to gather friends and adopt friends into my lovely Kinky family. And I have actually even gone so far as to Phoenix to adopt somebody and bring them into my Kinky family. I got very lucky and I met an amazing kink talker who at the time lived in Phoenix, but was originally from here. And when I was visiting Phoenix, I reached out, we met up, became friends. She relocated back here and I said, that's it. You got to come join our family. And I'm very excited to have her not only be a part of this amazing family, but to talk with us today about her adventures. So welcome, my friend Vixen.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be part of this. And I'm glad to be your friend.
Well, it worked out so perfectly because what were the odds that I would be visiting Phoenix and become friends with somebody through TikTok who was originally from this area when I was originally from Phoenix, and we switched and now you came back. So
it's such a small world,
right? We try to tell people that the kink world is small, but it really is.
Absolutely.
Dara is not taking part in this today because I wanted to surprise her. So
I love it. I love it. I hope she's incredibly surprised.
This is my birthday episode, so I get to both give and receive surprises.
We love that.
So one of the things that I know that you very much have in common with Dara is oralism. And I know there's been some back and forth messages, and Dara's talked about you. I believe, aren't you the one who would send her messages like, ma'am, ma'am? Isn't that you? Aren't you the ma'am?
I did tag her in a TikTok, specifically for you all, in which I said, Miss Ma'am, excuse me, because I had listened to the oralism episode and I was not a very good listener. And I did not take your warning to heart. I did choose to listen to it while driving. And while I did okay through most of the episode, we got to that very last segment. And let's just say I had to make sure I didn't swerve.
I'm picturing that going, because we all know this doesn't do it for me. I'm a visual person. So I usually don't have a problem listening while I'm driving. Unless, of course, I notice out of the corner of my eye somebody on the sidewalk. And then I'm like, oh, look at that.
It's such an interesting kink to have, because you never know when you're going to be, I don't want to say triggered, but when you're going to be turned on suddenly. And voices, especially accents, are a very big turn on.
You're probably part of her group now that sends TikToks back and forth.
I am. I send her quite a few, especially when they are deep voiced or have beautiful accents.
We send each other cute animal videos to brighten up the day.
I send a few of those too.
Yeah. I love the cute animal videos. That's been my TikTok. Like if a therapist ever went through my For You page and saw what would coming up, they'd really have questions, I think. Because it's all over. I will have cute animals. Then I have sexy guys doing push-ups because, well, yes, again, visual person here. Then I'll have Karens, a whole thing of Karens, which I'm fascinated by, and the occasional car accidents. I'm like, what does any of this mean about me as a person?
And my For You page is so nerdy. I get Doctor Who and Star Wars, but then I get the hot men and women, especially like the people who do use the axes to chop wood.
Oh yes, he is very sexy. I know who we're talking about. If you are on TikTok, you know who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And then also there's a few male TikTokers whose voices are just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I know who they are because Dara keeps talking about them, and I'm like, yeah, they've got beautiful voices. Don't get me wrong, but then for me, like I'll hear this beautiful voice and I get this image of what they look like, and then when they don't match up to their image of what they look like, I'm like, wah, wah, wah.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Do you have that the opposite? Like if they look really good and then they open their mouth and they have like a little squeaky voice coming out?
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard for me because while I am both visual and auditory, with all of that, the auditory portion is so important. I have to like the way you sound.
Yeah. See, I could just tell you to be quiet, but if you don't look good in my eyes, I got a problem.
That makes it hard. Absolutely.
I know that. So you top for electro, right?
Yes.
I bet you and Darv had some good discussions about that. Because that's
We've
when I
had some
tune
wonderful
out.
discussions.
That's when I tune out. I admit it freely.
No, we've had some great discussions, and I love getting to watch her do her electro scenes, especially when she's demoing at Crucible. It's so fun to see her pop new people who've never experienced it before. And that's also one of my favorite things, is getting to share electro with people who've never experienced electro before, especially if they do enjoy it, because that just brings me so much joy to be able to share the things I love with other people.
Aww. Now you and I have impact in common. And we've done some fun impact scenes together.
We've done some great impact scenes together, and I am incredibly grateful for having you in my life and being able to do that with you.
I'm going to let you tell the story of how this all started, because our impact scenes are special, and not so much what we're doing, but the why we're doing it.
Yes. So I have had some trauma around impact scenes with previous tops that left impact being something that I wasn't sure I would ever be able to do again. And I missed it a lot. And as our friendship grew, and as I learned to trust you, and I got to see you do impact on others, I think I came to you one day and asked if you would be willing to work with me so that I could get back into impact and so that I could learn to love it again. And we've had, I think, 3 scenes now.
So far, yep. 3 scenes so far.
And they started off, the first time we did it, it was just the 2 of us. The second time, it was the 2 of us, and I think 1 person was watching. And then the third time, it was at the party itself. And as we've gone through, I have felt myself enjoy it more and want to push myself more. And it's been really healing to know that it's not that I have lost the ability to do impact and to bottom for impact, but that developing trust in a top and being able to trust my top again is so incredibly important to my healing process and to being able to enjoy the things and the kinks that I have loved for as long as I've been a part of the kink community.
I remember prepping for our first scene before you came over. And I will tell you, I was probably more nervous than I had ever been, because not that I was concerned whether or not I could top you, but it was that trust issue and your trauma. And I felt such self-imposed pressure to make sure I didn't fuck this up, because I knew you had taken such a giant step forward And I did not want to be the reason you took a step backward. So I remember but we laughed. Like, I don't think that's what people really understand. Like, they have this vision of the scenes always being so serious, right? That's what you see in the movies and television shows. We giggled our way through that first scene, which I think was healing for you and help and stress reducing for me.
And I'm really glad to hear that.
You know, by the time I got to the second scene, I was feeling much better. By the third scene, I had hit my groove and it was good. And
absolutely,
I felt so much better about it. But we just, I mean, anytime we see, we just laugh. We're very silly.
We do.
I'm silly on my own. That's what I
love about it. But that's one of the things that I love about kink is it doesn't have to be serious. We don't have to just, I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to make any noises, or I'm only going to let them do what they want. It's a conversation. It's communication. Mm-hmm. It's telling you, oh, yes, that works. That doesn't. Okay, I've had enough of that toy. Let's move on to the next. But it's also, that tickles. And I'm giggly because like I, for some reason, impact has always been something that has made me laugh. And I love that silliness, that lightheartedness, that it doesn't have to be this serious, straight face, always. It doesn't always have to be about the pain.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. I love the pain. But
sure. I do
that's
too.
That's just me.
I mean, I do too. I am a masochist after all.
Right. One of the things you mentioned, which I love, is you talked about like the conversation of saying, I've had enough of that. Can we do this? Because one of I have several soapboxes. And one of my latest soapbox is this whole concept that I don't personally believe topping from the bottom. Because
there's
things
no
like
such thing.
The thing like you being able to say to me, okay, I'm done with that toy. Can we switch to a different toy? To me, it's not topping from the bottom or telling me what to do. It's a way of communicating. Because if I ignore you and keep doing that, you're going to say word, scene is over. Nobody's having any fun anymore.
Exactly. And if I communicate where I'm at with a toy, then maybe we go back to it. Maybe we don't. But I'm telling you where my limit is with that.
Yeah. And honestly, even if you said to me, okay, I need you to hit me 5 more times with this toy right here, which some people consider topping from the bottom. I just treat people who do that like toddlers. Oh, that's so cute. You think you're in charge, right? and I don't.
But that's the great part. It's a conversation.
Yeah. And so to sit there and be like, you're topping from the bottom. How dare you? I'm like, that's really cute. You tried that. I'm not going to be angry that you tried that.
And the thing is, I kind of refer to that as active negotiation. Mm-hmm. So there's the negotiations that you have prior to the scene where you determine what's going to happen in a scene, what you're comfortable with, where you're starting, where you're stopping, what your limits are. But then there's the active conversation and negotiations within the scene where negotiations don't stop just because the scene starts. Mm-hmm. And it's not really like negotiating new things into a scene. It's negotiating how the scene is going to continue. If you're not communicating these things to each other, to your top or to your bottom, then how do you know they're enjoying it?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Agree.
Right?
Yep. So one of the other fun things you and I do together is we host Risque together.
Yes.
And I remember last month, we just sat there, and if we weren't talking to people about the rules, we were just bitty buddy gossips, admiring all the outfits. And I keep using this line because this cracked me up when you were like, I'm seeing all these hot, sexy women. And it's just reminding me, confirming that I am bisexual. And I'm like going, and I see all these hot, sexy women, and it just confirming I'm straight. And I laughed. I shared that with my daughter because my daughter identifies as bisexual. So I was sharing that with her, and she's like, yeah, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I know. If that doesn't prove that sexuality isn't a choice, because I'm surrounded by these gorgeous, there was some gorgeous women at this dungeon.
There really are. There's some beautiful women in our community. And I think that that's one of the beautiful things about kink is just that I can appreciate other people and other bodies, and nobody feels upset by that.
Right? There's nothing I love more than saying to somebody, especially a strong, proud woman, because I'm definitely into women empowerment, right? I think we need to stick together. And so there's nothing Absolutely. I love more than seeing a gorgeous, strong, proud woman and saying to them, you look hot. You're slaying it, queen, right? And yes. I watch them, they stand up just a tiny bit straighter, right? And like kind of proudly march through into the rest of the dungeon. And I'm like, yes, you go for it, right?
And that's, I think, the great thing about our community, not just the community here, but kink in general, is there's so much body positivity in this world that we are consistently encouraging each other and pushing each other to love ourselves and to love each other. And one of the great things about having a good group of friends is lifting each other up by continuously complimenting each other.
Yes. Yes. And now this will happen before this episode actually comes out. But next weekend is the big pink kink takeover.
I'm so excited.
You're right. You got your pink outfit all set up?
My whole pink outfit set up. I even got a pink mask to wear for Dara's scene, and I got some new accessories. So I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to do an entire episode about the adventures of our birthday party.
Yep.
It's going to be great. A lot of fun stuff coming up. I am super excited. Well, thank you for taking time to speak with me. And I wish I could see the expression on Dara's face when she finally listens to this, because Dara's done this to me a few times when she goes off and does interviews without me and surprises me. And I was very excited to finally return the favor and surprise her. And
I'm excited to surprise her too.
When she hears it, I bet I can hear the scream all the way at my house from her house, which is 45 minutes away.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm so glad to be able to be a part of this and be part of your life. And you know, I love the podcast. I've listened to all of the episodes in order.
Yes,
because I know that that's important. And I talk about it to everybody I know, because it's just such a great resource.
Well, good. I'm glad you feel that way, because once I adopt somebody, it's for life. You're stuck with me. So
I'm happy. I'm happy to have you.
I love talking with her.
She's such a sweetie.
She makes my heart happy.
Oh, did your heart go pity pat?
My heart did go pity pat. You know, I share the story about the very special scene that I did with her, and for somebody to have that level of trust in you is a pretty powerful feeling. And I take that responsibility really super much. I don't know. I really
that responsibility super seriously.
Super seriously. Thank you. Which apparently seriously is hard for me. So the fact that I take it super seriously is really a big deal.
Can you say super seriously?
Super seriously.
Oh, good. You did it.
I just can't say it 10 times fast. So
you can't say, yeah, no, I wouldn't even try that either. It sounds like you're saying soup or seriously.
Ooh, soup sounds good.
I had soup.
I saw a recipe for loaded baked potato soup, and I need to try it. Anyway, I promised her that we would stay on tangent, but yeah.
We would stay on tangent? Good. Back to soup. Perfection.
Oh my God. Can you tell that I'm still recovering from the party? The brain is not fucking functioning.
Now back to soup. You said you wanted loaded baked potato soup. I made corn chowder today, which is like potato based, and then you like kind of mix it, and guess what it had in it?
Bacon?
Yeah.
Yay! Bacon makes everything better.
Bacon made the whole thing absolutely fucking baconlicious.
Bacon makes everything better.
All right. So anyway, that was us staying on tangent, just like Rara said.
Oh my God. I feel like once again, I need to apologize for the complete lack of brain.
Luckily, this is not
happening.
one of those episodes, I think, that we have to put in a disclaimer of don't listen to this episode and drive at the same time, Vixen, or you may pee. Vixen.
No, that was last episode, and hopefully we did warn people then.
I don't think we did. Oh, well.
No, sorry, not last episode, 2 episodes ago. See, this is what happens when you have a 2-parter. I was not thinking of part 1 of this. I was thinking of the episode before when we talked about the actual birthday party.
Yeah, I don't think we said any kind of disclaimer for that either.
Oh, well, be risk aware. When you listen to Pink King podcast, be risk aware. You may end up peeing in your pants.
I think you should record one, and then I will accidentally put it at the end of the episode.
Yeah. See, I was thinking I need a graphic.
Okay, you could do that too.
Be risk aware when listening to Pink King podcast.
You might be accidental water sports.
Yeah. This next episode, oh my God.
Wow. Wake up, Rara. It is PM. You're supposed to be awake at the You always say, I'm a night owl. I need coffee in the morning, and at night I can't stop staying awake, and I will do all the things. You can't fucking function at night either.
Not tonight. Tonight is very difficult. I'm having very hard time speaking.
I am leaving all of that in because that's just so much more fun. How many times can we get Rara to fuck up in her own episode? Oh,
I don't know.
Are those tears?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, drink, people. So here's the thing. Do we count last episode? Because I think you fucked up once or twice there, but then...
We did. You were being kind because it's my birthday episode, right. So you're trying to be kind.
But now we're at the end of your birthday episode, part 2, so I don't have to. Hey, Violet, this is a job for you. Go back and listen, and I'll probably warn her about it beforehand. But this is this is part of her secretary duties. She has to go and listen and find out how many times Rara fucked up.
Can she count that high?
I don't know, but I feel like there should... Wow, what an insult. Can she count that high? It's been like 3. Jesus.
I was insulting me that it was that many, not her about her counting.
Got you, because that's not how I heard it. I think, though, that we should add another thing to our drinking game.
Yeah?
Every time I make fun of you for messing up.
Okay.
Should it be just you messing up? Because then if I make fun of you for it, that's a double, and people would be like, that'd be a mess.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think if I mess up, it's only fair you make fun of me. I think that's fair game.
All right, so we'll just put that in together. All right, Anyway, continue. Next person.
Oh, yeah. So the next person that we spoke to, it was a little hard to get him to talk. He's not a man of many words. And I kind of dragged him kicking and screaming that he needed to be a part of this and
he had
be interviewed.
To. There was no way you could do an episode without him. Also, I want to be very specific on this.
Okay.
Because last episode you were trying to get me to guess who it was. Now, I happen to know who it is, but I want to do the same clues for other people to guess who this is.
All right. Do you want to remind everybody about the clues?
Okay, the clues were Rara has sucked his dick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, you're going to have to narrow that down a little bit because, that could be a couple of people.
Yeah.
And then I thought about who we were talking about, and I said chocolate or vanilla. And at the time she said vanilla, so that leaves only chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And Rara refers to him as her delicious, delicious chocolate.
Oh, God, he is so delicious. Figuratively and literally.
Ew.
I know. Fluids, body fluids, honey.
Gross. But I love him. If he would let me, I would totally nom on him, but he hasn't let me do that yet, so.
Yeah, he's not a nommer. He totally let you suck his dick, but you don't like.
I don't want to suck his dick.
Liquids.
I want to bite his ass.
Oh, that ass is good.
Right?
I'm not an ass woman, but that ass is fine.
I want to take a big old chunk of his ass and go like a chicken leg. Just
That's how I feel about his biceps.
Yeah, chicken leg or no, turkey leg.
Turkey leg. Yeah, well,
watermelon. He might have watermelon-sized biceps, right? No?
They're pretty fucking big.
Right? They're huge.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So are we telling people yet? Are we telling people yet or still letting them guess?
Go for it. We've just been comparing him to all the foods that we want to nom, so.
Because he's delicious. Anyway, I dragged him kicking and screaming. Well, not really, because I couldn't drag him if my life depended upon it. But figuratively, I dragged him.
And he doesn't really kick and scream either. He just kind of like stands there like a brick wall.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I'm having a hot flash and it's not because I'm old. Okay.
Oh, God.
Now I'm thinking about his biceps and his chest and his dick. And anyway, we talked to my partner, Diesel.
Glad you finally said it.
So if I was going to talk to all the people who we talk about on this podcast, when we asked people who they wanted to hear from, one of the top requests was my partner, Diesel. So I'm very fortunate. He joined me tonight and is going to talk to us for a little bit about how he feels, the fact that we talk about him on the episode, that I shared a lot of really personal stuff about our sex life on the podcast, and kink. So welcome, Diesel.
Hey, everyone. Nice to meet you.
So I guess we'll start with, how do you feel about the fact that I share all the details on the podcast?
I'm actually flattered and very surprised that anyone's interested in it. But yeah, it's kind of makes me feel a little humble, though.
Well, it's really, my favorite stuff is, so people always, ask what you look like, and I try to describe to them. And we were at the dungeon, and I had gone off to do a scene, and so my friend Vixen was looking for you. And she said she came right up. She knew exactly who you were based upon my description.
Yeah, I had no clue who she was. She walked up to me right away. I didn't know what to think of it, but she said, "Yeah, Rah sent me." I said, "Okay, all right."
Well, she came up to me afterward and she said, "He's as sexy as you say he is."
Oh, I didn't know she thought that way.
Well, yeah, come on, you are. I don't exaggerate about that. So obviously, I've told people how we met. And if you don't know, then you need to go back and listen to an episode, because we do not have your standard typical meet cute story.
Right. Birthday gangbang, right?
birthday gangbang. I went to a friend's birthday and I got to keep the present.
Yeah. I was just a fantasy and you kept me as a reality on a regular basis.
That's right. It's been 6 years now, though. So
yeah.
Obviously it's working.
It's good.
One of the things that I also really enjoy is we're poly.
Yes.
And I think this is honestly like the healthiest poly relationship.
Yeah.
We don't do jealousy.
No.
We communicate well. I've met some of my metamors, gotten along fine. In fact, one of my favorite things is that you have brought them to some of the different events. You brought one to the Crucible, and one of them you brought here to my house for one of my dungeon parties, and I got to top her for an impact scene.
Yeah. And before, you might have forgotten, I brought 2 more before that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did stuff with Dara, though. They didn't do impact with me, but I remember at least one of them did some stuff with Dara. So yeah, which I mean, I love that. That to me is how you do things.
I mean, it's just everyone's on the same mind level, and everyone understands that, we're just all people. We know there's enough love and kindness to go around for everyone. We just all just having a good time, enjoying each other's company. And I'm a people person, and I'm drawn to other people who feel the same way.
Yeah, I think I'm a people person.
You're definitely a people person.
I'm next level people person.
Yeah. So, I mean, I talk to you. I talk about you all the time, too. I always talk about you and your events and everything. And when I talk to them about it, like, ooh, I want to go. I'm like, okay, let's go.
It's so cool. Now, you do have, I mean, you really identify mostly as a swinger, but you've got some kink background too, right?
Right. I was got started in kink back in 1998, I believe. 97. But my ex was a pro dom. Like I said, we started in DC and we ended up buying and running a dungeon in New York City for about six or 7 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the stories you tell me about those days and the different submissives that she had and the furniture they would build. And it sounds like you guys had fun.
Yeah, her submissives were very talented individuals. I mean, they created masterpieces for all the dungeon equipment that we had, and that stuff would go for a lot of money today. I mean, it was incredible. But yeah, I mean, those were some great times. Times have changed though. Things are not like they were back then, but it's still all fun.
What do you think about you've now been and you've seen some of my scenes?
Yes.
You've seen my needle scenes. I think you've seen my blood play scenes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff though. I mean, a lot more blood in the past, everything, but to see how you do it and see how it's done, and I'm impressed by how much you can take. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you've seen her in person or everything. She's not the biggest thing in the world, but she definitely got a real strong tolerance for pain, and that needle play is like something I know I could never do. So I'm very impressed.
Aw, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you've started to, I know you've started to add some implements, some impact toys into your...
Yeah, into my repertoire.
Yes.
I'm just starting back over again because, after my ex and I broke up many years ago, I let her continue to keep all of the equipment because, she was a pro dom and that she made a lot of money at it. And so, I put my own personal touches. I put everything just like you in my favorite colors of like royal blue, candy blue, and everything's like blue and black. Yeah, so I love it. Yeah, so I have to get a chance to use it with you and on you one of these days.
One of these days. Well, I would love to take the one friend that was here that I did the impact scene on and co-top her. Yeah. And we'll do it together that way. Those are always fun. One in the front, one in the back, and we can really make it an adventure.
Oh, we can. Yeah, we could definitely take it to the next level of from kink to swing back to kink. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I got you thinking.
And I know she's down for it. Yeah, she would definitely love that. Mm-hmm.
That would be very awesome. Yeah. Luckily, if only you knew somebody who had a dungeon you could do that in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be back over here for sure.
So how do you feel about the fact that folks know all the details? Like, do you mind that I tell everything?
Nah, not at all. I'm just surprised that there was any interest. But no, I'm an open book. It doesn't bother me at all. I really look forward to hearing from your people on what they have to say about it. I haven't heard that much from the cat. I'm just so busy. I don't know if she told you guys, I'm always on the road. I'm always busy. So I haven't had a chance to really tune in and hear everything. So I hear everything from her and Dara. So, I mean, they keep me involved and updated on everything that has to do with my name, of course. But yeah, I'm really curious to hear what people have to say. And if they ever have a question type, episode where people want to ask questions and, and I can answer. Yeah, I'll be open to anything. Yeah.
All right, guys, you heard that here. If you have questions for Diesel, send them and we will get some answers for you.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. Yeah, we have to plan. We haven't been to like one of your type of events, a swinger event in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. The one we went to, it wasn't my particular party, but it was a party that you knew of. But it was still a great experience. That was my first time watching you.
Oh, that's true. You got to watch me with somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't think, well, I guess technically I did watch you with somebody else the first time we met.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And you helped prepare me for that.
I did. Yeah. I kept things going.
Yeah. I haven't had that in a while. Yeah, we need to do that again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have ways of getting things going. It's not a problem.
Yes, you do.
I have my ways.
Yes, you do.
It's been 6 years now. I know what you lack.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Which is great. Yeah, there's not much else I think really to talk about, but I appreciate that you took time out of your schedule. I mean, it is insane. I thought my schedule was bad.
Yeah.
Your schedule is actually worse than mine.
And then it's hard to match them up sometimes, but we manage. When there's a will, there's a way.
Well, it's one of my favorite things about us is that, I mean, we're two adults who act like adults.
Right.
So, if schedules don't work and it's a while till we see each other, shit happens.
Yeah.
Neither one of us takes it personally. Mm-hmm. We know it's not that we don't want to see each other, and I love that very healthy poly dynamic that we have.
Yes.
I've been in poly dynamics that were not healthy. So this one I very much appreciate.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a good, healthy one for a good number of years now. So.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
I know we got plans. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely
got to get going. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Well, there wasn't much of it, but what there was glorious.
The funny thing is when it's just him and I without a microphone, we have no problem talking. I think he was just, the microphone kind of threw him off.
He was camera shy. Microphone shy?
I've made films with him. He's not camera shy.
So he was microphone shy. How are you microphone shy but not camera shy? And can I see those films?
You've seen his body. Why wouldn't he be not shy about being
No, he is not shy. I have seen it on CCTV before. Live.
That's true. You have seen him live. You've seen him. Well, you've met him in person multiple times, to say the least.
All the time. He's come to parties here, birthday parties.
Mm-hmm. Parties at my place.
Mm-hmm.
The dungeon. So you've met him multiple times. In fact, I remember Vixen when she finally got to meet him for the first time. And I'm like, I told you. She says, oh my God. I'm like, I told you.
We don't actually lie about these people, guys.
No. And the funny thing is for the longest time, like you and Daddy J were the only ones who had actually met him. Mm-hmm. Because, the group has we've had some people who used to be in the group who would have met him, who kind of left. And we've had new people come into the group. And
it's fluctuating.
They hadn't met him. And I can't want to tell people, he's real. I promise you, when I'm talking about this big, hunky, gorgeous, huge guy, I'm not making this up. This is real. So for people to finally start to meet him, so I could say, see, I told you so. I remember when Vixen finally got to meet him, and then Naughty and Nice finally got to meet him because she had missed the dungeon party that he came to that Vixen first met him at, and she's like, I can't believe I missed him. So she finally got to see him, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, I know, I told you people. He is stunning.
You have been just all up banging on this mic the entire time you've been talking about him.
Well, he makes me think of banging. What can I say?
I was going to say, it sounds like a bed squeaking while you're talking about him, so I'm just leaving all of that. It's totally appropriate.
Hot. The man is fucking hot. And as somebody who is attracted very visually, it does it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we've been together now 7 years.
Jesus.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
For the last guest, and I saved her specifically to be last because she's super special to me. Because not only has she become one of my closest and dearest friends, but she's almost become a mentee. I tease her and I call her my Padawan. Also, thanks to her, she has helped me grow and learn incredibly as a top. And she challenges me regularly. And I love her for that because that's hard to find, somebody who can still challenge you. Yeah, let's talk to my really good dear friend, Naughty and Nice. So I knew for my birthday episode that I would have to end on a high note and bring in probably, and don't tell anybody else, all right? This is just between us. Bring in my favorite bottom that I've been working with for a while now because nobody pushes me more
And I mean that in a good way. And we just have an amazing relationship. And I knew I would want to bring her on because we'd have so many stories, a lot of which you guys have heard, but now you get to hear it from her. So I would like to introduce my friend and my bottom, Naughty and Nice. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to get to do this.
We have such a good time every time we get together. So I have no doubt, even through this recording, you guys will be able to see just how silly we are with each other and how great. I figured we kind of game plan beforehand to make sure that we could remember all the different stories we wanted to share. And we both agreed that the best place to really start with this is the beginning of her journey and how she ended up becoming my bottom.
Yes. So this is, and I'm going to actually go back even farther than what Rara is thinking, because I actually met her for a brief conversation in a friend's dungeon after watching a scene that she's talked about where she had to do state capitals and she got them right and still got beat anyway.
You were there?
That scene, yes.
I did not know you were there.
I was. And so that was actually
already.
I know that was our first interaction, and we sat and watched a scene and chatted just a little bit. But at that point, we didn't really know each other at all. And the way I got introduced to the podcast is a friend of ours. So I had come into the kink scene alone, going to events all by myself. And I had met one of our mutual friends at an event. And he's like, "Oh, I think you'll like this podcast." And he sent me one single episode that was probably related to something we were talking about. I don't even remember which one it is, because I was like, wait, that's not how I work. I can't start in the middle. So I had to go back to the beginning and start at the first episode.
See, this is why we're friends.
That's right. And I binged for 2 weeks all the episodes that had happened up to that point, and became a patron right away because I just loved it and I learned so much, and it was fantastic. So as a patron, I was in the chat. And like I said, I've been mostly going to events by myself. And so Rara posted, "Is anyone in our local area going to can I say the dungeon's name?"
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going to the Crucible tonight and could give me a ride. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going by myself. Should I say something? I'm kind of scared. And so I did. I put it in the post and said, "I'll drive you." And I was like, first I was asking where she lived, but honestly, it probably wouldn't have mattered where she lived. I would have went anywhere to pick her up because, I thought she was great. And, I was like, going to an event with somebody would be so much fun. And so that's what I did. And then I was terrified. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's a princess. Is my car going to be good enough? Am I cool enough to talk to her? What are we going to talk about? I don't know her at all. And I was completely worried for no reason. We chatted the whole time. It turned out we had a lot of things in our past relationships and marriages and stuff that we had in common. And it was super easy and fun. And we ended up having a great time. And right then we knew it was very comfortable because we could do things together at the dungeon, or we could separate and go our own ways and do our own thing. And that was fine. We didn't have to entertain each other, but we could if we wanted to. And so it was a very, very good and comfortable.
We bonded over hot flashes.
Yes. We always have the most silly conversations. We will talk about anything and everything. So that was our first experience together.
Yeah. And ever since then, it's been such a blast. We've done, I've actually had a lot of firsts with Naughty, with pushing me, challenging me, I should say. And I say that in the best sense because I'm very grateful for it. Challenging me to do things as a top for the first time.
And I have to say, the first time I was mentioned on the show, I don't know how we decided that you were going to top me, because you hadn't topped Impact in a long time. But you had agreed to top me for Impact. And so we went to the Crucible and we found a spanking bench, and you did, a great Impact scene on me, and we had so much fun. And then you mentioned on the podcast the next day that it was the first time you had topped in a long time and your arms were tired. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was me.
I remember that. Excited. Oh my God. And that was right soon after the dungeon had come back from the pandemic and we had to wear masks in the dungeon.
Yep.
Oh, I remember that. That was not fun.
Right.
I appreciated that they were trying to keep us safe, but that was loud, and to try to be louder with the masks on.
Yeah, and it was the first time seeing together, so we didn't know each other that well, and yeah, it was crazy, but it was good. And that started. We were like, we're going to have to do this again.
That's it. And then and she is a tough cookie. Like, she can take a licking and keep on ticking. I get my workouts.
Well, I try. We joke all the time about that she's like, I'm her, in Star Wars terms, her Padawan learner.
Yes.
Because I admire so many of the different kinks that she does. And I like all of those things too. Some I discovered before I met her and some after. But, it's like when I see or hear her do something that she enjoys, I'm like, I'm probably going to enjoy that too. So, she pushes me up to the next level also.
It's been really cool. So and then we went to Naughty Noel together. So we had a blast in the car ride, just chit-chatting and talking and laughing. And then at Naughty Noel, I took a class with you on learning on needle scenes. And I remember the funny thing is I love bottoming for needles, but I swore I was never going to top for needles, just like I swore I was never going to do needles. So we know how much we should not listen to me if I say I'm never going to do something. And you were so kind to say I could use you as my pincushion for my very first time doing needles.
Yes. And this was awesome because I only bottom. I don't top anything. And so I don't really get to give people a first experience or anything like that. But I had decided to take the class because I love bottoming needles. And I thought, well, if I know the other side of it and know all the safety and all the information, then I'm just going to be a better bottom and be able to vet my tops and things like that. So I'm like, well, this is perfect. I'll be your bottom and you can use me as a pincushion.
Oh my God. And I was so fucking nervous and scared. I mean, I'm going to be putting a needle into your body and I don't want to fuck this up. And I was petrified, but I also didn't want to let you know that I was petrified because I'm like, she's got to have confidence in me. If I act like I'm scared, right, this is not going to go well. She needs to feel that I'm confident. So like I had to really practice my acting skills to act like I knew what the fuck I was doing. And I got this. I'm good with this. And so they're handing out sample needle packs to those of us in the class, right? And they give me mine. And they went to go give you yours. I'm like, no, because we're going to scene together. We just need my one. And you very smartly said, no, we'll take this second pack.
Right, because I'm like, maybe you're going to like it and want to do all 10 needles.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just going to put the one in and then that's it. And so you sat up on the table. You sat up on the table. I should have known it's me, right? I don't do things in tiny measures. For a small person, I only do big shit. And I remember I put the first needle through. And oh my God, I was higher than you were.
It was hilarious. I never saw Rara so excited. She was bouncing up and down like a bunny rabbit going, I did it. And I was laughing my head off.
Oh my God.
But it was also such an amazing, like touching experience to like be the first.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I want to do another one. I need to do another one. And I put some more in. And then the funny thing is, so here I am. I'm already thrilled and excited that I got to do this. And it went so well and you enjoyed it. And now I'm hooked. And then as if all of that wasn't amazing and good enough, people commented how incredibly neat my needles were lined up on you.
Her perfect Virgo.
My God.
First time needles, but they were just in a row, just right.
Just perfectly. I'm like, yes, this was the cherry on top of an already amazing experience.
Oh, it was so funny.
Oh, I think I flew from that scene for days.
Yes. And now we've done several other needle scenes and have another one planned in a couple days.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm very comfortable now with the needles. I got through that fear and I'm good. But then you also pushed me to get past another thing that I hadn't topped for and was very nervous about.
Yes, this was our most recent scene, right, in your dungeon. So as I said, when Rara does things and she likes them so much, chances are I'm going to like them too. And I've watched several of her blood scenes. And so I was like, I need to do that. And I've been talking about it for a long time. And we were talking about, our friend John maybe being the one to do it or whatever. But I'm like, no, I think it has to be Rara. And so until she was comfortable, we didn't go ahead. But then we started talking about it, and she was having a party in her dungeon, which is definitely a better place to do it than at the public dungeon. And so I'm like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think I am."
It took quite a few months before I felt ready and comfortable to do it, because again, I take this seriously. I did not want to fuck this up. I mean,
I'm just so easygoing. I'm like, you won't. You bottomed for it. You know what you're doing. You study enough. Part of it's because I have so extreme trust that she's not going to do anything she doesn't feel comfortable with, and that's, I think, what makes our relationship so great is the level of trust that we have with each other. That if something goes wrong, I'll tell her, or she'll tell me.
Yeah. But we had such a fun time during that scene. And very similar to the first time needles, once I did it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Oh my God, I love this. And then I got you to bleed a lot. And then I started drawing in your blood. And what did you call me?
I said you were a, oh gosh, it was something about a kindergartner.
It was a sadistic kindergartner.
Because she told me at first, she's like, I may just hit once. And then the blood started flowing and she just started smacking me with the curry comb.
I'm like, I need more blood. I'm drawing. I'm out of blood. I need more blood to draw.
She was finger painting on me.
I made big hand. Well, my hands are little. So I made little handprints on you. I wrote my name. I signed my work.
Yes. And hearts.
I did. I gave you hearts because I love you.
It's my favorite sadistic kindergartner.
My God. But there is one thing that you have been brave enough to do that I still have not been brave enough to do.
So I had last January, I had watched, not this past one, the one before, I had been at a dungeon event and watched people doing suspensions, and I was fascinated. And I talked to people who had done it. I talked to the people working. That was all I paid attention to all night, was just watched them from prep to flight to aftercare, and decided that was something I was going to do at some point. So when they advertised that was coming up again this past January, I'm like, that's it. I've got to do it. And I got to have some friends with me because, it was really scary. I mean, I was excited, but it was scary. And of course, one of those people was Rara. So I wouldn't take on something so big without her by my side.
Oh, I'm like, and it hadn't even been a month since I'd been released from the hospital on yet another one of my lovely adventures with kidney stones. But there was no way that I was not going to be there for this, because I've watched it. That's not the first time I've seen hook suspension. And I'm fascinated by it. And I'm not sure why I'm so hesitant. I'm still like, but it was so cool to watch you go up. You didn't seem that nervous, like maybe a little bit of nervous, but not nearly as nervous as I would have expected.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you remember me calling you that day and going, is it right that I'm scared shitless?
That's true. And I did tell you I would expect you to be. I'd be more worried if you weren't scared.
Right.
And I'd forgotten we did have to have a powwow.
Yes. And you had told me, and this is what gave me so much courage, is you had said, even if you don't get up and you get the hooks in and you decide it's too much, you've still tried something that a lot of people would never try. And that gave me that courage to go, oh yeah, it's not a failure. I'm going to just go with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. And I'm so glad that you were there to share it with me.
I know it was.
And I'll be there when you decide to do it.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm very curious about it. I need to check the scars on your back before I make any decisions.
Okay. We'll
see what they look. See what they look like. But it's also, in fairness, it is not cheap. And
no,
this is not a diss on the people who do it. The supplies required. I mean, you think about it. Every hook, everything that they use for the most part is a one-time use and has to be thrown out. So they also cover the floor with a lot of different tarps and covers just to make sure. I mean, it is fascinating.
And there's a whole staff of people too.
Yeah.
Not just one person. So.
And every time I could just think of all the other things I could and do with the money versus that. Yeah. But we also, you do push me to bottom in other ways because you did a needle scene with our needle top learning curve where you, do you go Lobos, right?
Yes.
Lots of big ash sharps. And you decided you were going to do that.
Yes.
I decided,
yes. So we were at, we were with our needle top there and, they told me about this. You can do 50, were they 18 gauge?
18 gauge, yep.
Yeah, 50, 18 gauge. But decided I wasn't going to start off with that. I was going to just start with 25 and see how it was. And then, of course, Rara comes over and she hears about this thing and is like, wait, I got to be in the club. I've got to do that. And so she gets all 50.
I can't let that. I'm not ready for the Padawan to surpass the teacher yet. I still have to be the teacher.
Which is totally fine by me. I'm always happy to have, those shared experiences where we push each other.
But I had also remember the month before I had done 145 needles, though they were smaller. So I was already a little further ahead. But yeah, I ended up getting all 50. And then you were lopsided. You only had the marks on one breast. So the next time you and I were at the dungeon together, I did 25 on your other breast, so you'd be even.
Yes, she did. And so then she got to top for half a low boss.
There you go.
And maybe she'll be the one to put me in the club. I don't know.
Hey, listen, you're the only person I can use the 18 gauge needles on, and I have a lot of them because the 18 gauge needles are pink. So I bought a lot thinking that was exciting. And yeah, nobody seems to want them.
I do.
So we'll see. We'll see how much I can poke you this weekend.
Yes. And actually for the patrons, that's going to be a video, correct?
That is correct. We are doing this and recording it for our patrons. So again, I'll do my announcer voice. If you join our patron, which you can join for as little as $2 a month, you will have access to our Discord server, some adorable Pink Kink stickers. And if you go into our middle tier, our impactful Kinksters, or our top tier, the electrifying Kinksters, then you do get access to special videos that I make. And you can see things like my doing the needle scene. I've done staple scenes, blood play scene on me where I bottomed. Maybe we'll have to do another one at a later date with you bottoming for blood play.
Oh, they can watch you finger painting.
Yes, I can finger paint on you, and you bleed better than I do.
Well, maybe because I'm new at it still.
Maybe. I need to drink more water. I'm probably dehydrated. If you're doing blood play and you drink water, a lot more water, you will bleed more. So it's all good.
But yeah, so that's it. You're going to let me do some designs. We've got some design ideas of what we want to do. Oh, I forgot to mention, you need to go to patreon.com/Pink Kink podcast and you can join us. And it's a fun time. Dara and I are in the chat all the time, so you get access to us. There you go. There's my little business shtick I'll throw in every now and then.
Yep. Great job.
So what's next? We've got our needle scene coming up. We've got to do more of the blood impact. I am so hooked now. I need to finger paint some more.
Okay. Well, then next time you have a party.
Yeah, because
we'll
that was fun. I like finger painting.
It was. And this time I'll have to make bring my canvas.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make you a butterfly.
Yes.
So in case you are listening out of order and you don't know what the butterfly is, I did a blood play scene, bottomed for it, and we had a canvas that we pushed up against my ass to make a basically a blood print, and it looked like a butterfly. So Dara was like, "Oh, look, it's a butterfly." And it's now hanging up in my dungeon, which, by the way, you are welcome to hang yours up in my dungeon too. Once we do it, if you want to do that,
I might.
Well, because I don't know that you want to keep it in your house, so you can have it on the walls in my dungeon, and if such time you ever need it back, I will obviously give it back to you. But we can start a Hall of Fame. Oh, who else do we gonna get to do that? Oh, do you think Bobby would do it?
I don't know that he's done any. I don't know if.
Oh my God, we're going to have to talk to him about that. We're going to have to do a blood play Hall of Fame on the wall, on the walls in my dungeon.
And maybe if you do it on someone else, I might even finger paint with you.
Well, Bobby would totally let you finger paint on him.
I know he will.
He will. Bobby is the friend who introduced us.
Yes.
So,
yep.
All right.
I wanted to mention one other funny story.
Oh, yes, please.
We've been talking about all of our firsts.
Yeah.
And the funniest story that we have, which I know was shared on the podcast as well, was one night Rara was topping me, and we were at this like mansion style event where everybody was all really dressed up and they had live music.
Oh my God, yes. I'm the opera singer.
The opera singer. And so here I am on the cross, which was super appropriate, and she's beating me. And then all of a sudden, the opera singer starts singing Ave Maria. And we both just looked at each other and started laughing our asses off. And it's especially funny because I have a very Christian background, and Rara knows that. And so her beating me to a Christian opera song was just too much to handle.
Well, and we had a third friend who has a tendency to make very loud operatic sounds during scenes. I mean, not during her scenes,
right?
Just when she's watching somebody else do a scene. And so if I'm hitting Naughty really hard, which I can, because again, she's a badass bottom. Our friend, I'll hit whack, and the other friend is like, oh. So we've got the sounds of the whacking, the aria from the opera singer, and our friend going, all happening at the same time. Like, I don't think we could have tried and planned it as good as it turned out.
Yes, that was the perfect crazy scene, and we'll never forget it. Actually, it was hilarious.
I never would have thought I'd enjoy doing BDSM during opera, but that just worked out perfectly.
Yes, it was hilarious. One of our top moments, which is saying a lot because we have quite a few.
That's right. So if anybody who's listening has ideas of things that they would like for Naughty and I to try, let me know, because I think she's as crazy as I am. So
I believe so. I'm learning from the master.
That's right. So she's also said claims she's not going to top. We'll see. I claimed that for a long time too, and look what happened to me.
We'll see.
I am saying it right now. I'm saying it in posterity for all the listeners to listen. I think you will top for Needles. I don't know that you will top for Impact, but I think you will learn. I think you will learn to top for Needles.
I think you're right. I think I could do that. That's pretty much my very favorite kink. And so, yeah, I might.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. Maybe you'll let me poke you first.
Yes. I will let you poke me first. I will be your pincushion. But I will tell you, I'm going to warn you in advance, it's going to be weird. I remember the times that I topped my regular top. And it was like, this is weird. Like, I'm in a different dimension. It's the Twilight Zone. It's weird.
but I couldn't imagine trying it first with anyone else.
No.
So
we got this. We'll got this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us today and for sharing all these stories. You have, in addition to being my favorite bottom, you are one of my very bestest of friends. And this journey as a top would not be half as fun if I didn't have you as my impact bottom and my pin cushion.
Oh, thank you. You're one of my besties too. This is so great. I'm having so much fun.
Everybody all together. Everybody go, oh. So that's naughty and nice. Now, in the interview, we talked about the fact that I thought she could top for needles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very proud of her and very excited to announce that she did. Since we recorded that, she put 2 needles in my boob.
Oh, good for her.
Oh my God, she was so excited. And to watch her face, and she's like going, I think I'd like to do this again. So basically, I told her we could definitely make it happen again.
Your reaction when you did it to her was her reaction when she did it to you?
Yeah. And I told her that night. I said to her, remember how you felt when I got so excited? I'm like, you're having that same excitement. That's how I feel that you've done this.
Awesome.
So yeah, so it's been incredible. But I had so much fun doing this episode and talking to all these people and finally getting them to be a part of this podcast, because honestly, without all of them, this podcast wouldn't be as good as it is, because it's the stories and the memories that we have from the times we spent together and the scenes we do that give us so much good material to include on this episode. And so to have them be a part of it is wonderful. Anyway, so thank you to all of our guests for allowing us to interview you, for sharing your thoughts and ideas about the podcast, about Dar and I. And we love you guys all. And thank you for helping me celebrate my birthday.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you have a question you would like answered, or just have a story about the lifestyle you want to share, you can send us a voicemail and maybe it'll be featured in an episode. Just go to pinkkinkpodcast.com to contact us.
Follow us on social media. On Twitter, Instagram, and FetLife, we are Pink Kink Podcast. And on TikTok, we are Pink Kink Podcast 2.0. Join our Facebook group, Pink Kink Podcast, and hang out with other Pink Kinksters.
If you love what we do and are able to help support us, we are on Patreon. Just look for us on patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can also help support our affiliates, which benefits small businesses and Pink Kink.
Even if you can't show your support financially, there are other ways you can help. You can spread the word about our Kinky podcast and tell your friends about us. You can also rate and review Pink Kink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. The 5-star reviews really help.
Don't forget to subscribe to Pink Kink so you don't miss a minute of the fun. New episodes come out every Friday.
Until next time, stay pretty, stay safe,
and stay twisted.